Hey people, it's me again. So, anyways, you're probably gonna hear some noises from the neighbor because they're like remodeling and all that. So, bear with me. So, anyways, the reason I'm outside here is simply because of the fact that for the last couple of days, the weather was kind of being a bit strange at this point. We had like um, bit of a heat wave and all, and then there was a couple of days where it was below 80, but yeah. So, anyways, as I was saying about all of this here is that um, I haven't really been talking a whole lot about the whole tragedy with Charlie Kirk and all, but there's just some broader repercussions when it comes to that. As far as when they say don't say ill will to the dead at that point. And so basically, um, Jimmy Kimmel had shot his mouth off when it comes to all of that, no pun intended here. And so basically, he's been canceled, you know. But there's probably been a lot of people who probably wanted Jimmy Kimmel canceled since 2020 or so, just as much as when it came to Stephen Colbert or Jimmy Fallon. That's another thing. Maybe even what's his name, Seth Meyers. I think I keep getting their names mixed around. Any of the other late night talk show hosts there, and how they kind of really steered into the far left craziness in the last couple of years of that sort. But I don't know how this will pan out as far as if they would have any kind of replacements for Stephen Colbert or Jimmy Kimmel of that sort. But when it comes to Stephen Colbert, it was more of a financial decision because of the mergers with the Warner Media Company and Viacom and all those other companies. But it's just hard for me to keep track of it, all that. So considering all of that, so the biggest other reason why this would happen there was just it's also like competition from what is right in front of me, YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and all these other social media platforms of that sort. Is one thing. And then depending on a lot of the other things, whether if it's just the whole culture trickles down into politics or vice versa, everything because of Trump winning the presidential election last year has also broader implications of that sort, because especially when it came to South Park. But I don't know if they were gonna do like something like that in South Park, addressing the whole thing with Charlie Kirk's assassination. Now it's almost pretty much been a week since then. So considering all of that, I mean, I think they may have to address that, or at least in a way that's respectable of that sort, because or just simply do what other people do at that point. It's just brush it under the rug and all of that, which is another thing. But it was just kind of a bit bizarre, because the first episode of the season was lampooning Charlie Kirk. But as far as what I gathered there, when it came to Charlie Kirk, he wasn't really that far rightist of what I heard here, because especially at one point when Governor Gavin Newsom had started his own podcast and invited him on there. So that is just one of those little things there. But when it comes to the misinformation campaign, as far as that goes, as what I said earlier, is misinformation gets thrown around a lot because of whatever side of the aisle wants to maintain a certain narrative. And then the truth of the matter, when it comes to that, it's neither has some sort of bias of that sort. But it's one of the reasons why a lot of the people would promote ground news of that sort, because of the fact that people just get tired of the echo chambers, tired of the pandering and all that from both sides of the aisle in that sense. But when it comes to what has happened in the last 10 years, when it came to the left, was this overcorrection. And mainly it was just because of the fact that people got tired of the left being all weak-willed, especially during the Bush years. Because that was one of the things that I even remember during that entire time, that the left was being very weak-willed on a lot of things when it came to when Bush was in office. They didn't fought hard enough to go against the Iraq War and all of this, or they didn't fight hard enough to prevent certain other things of that sort. But yet, the minute this was the case with Obama during the last 2 years, then they just shifted so far to the left, it was too little too late, and it was one of the reasons why I had left the left at that point. But considering how everything is going to play out in the next midterm election, it'd be interesting to watch at that point. So, anyways, I guess that's probably it. So, talk to you guys later.